Unions have been branded selfish over rail worker strike plans which threaten major disruption to passengers. The RMT Union said it will shut down the country's railway network on 21, 23 and 25 June after talks over pay and redundancies fell through. A number 10 source called the plans selfish, adding the government was determined to press ahead with making the railways more efficient. Train operators and RMT have said they want more talks to avoid the strikes. If industrial action goes ahead, more than 40,000 staff from Network Rail and 13 train operators are expected to take part in what is dubbed the biggest rail strike in modern history. On the first day of the planned strike on 21 June, London Underground RMT workers plan to walk out in a separate dispute over pensions and job losses. The strikes are expected to affect thousands of rail passengers and fall during music and sporting events including the Glastonbury Festival and an England cricket test match against New Zealand. The BBC understands the action will leave around a fifth of mainline rail services running on the strike days, with the majority operating for a maximum of 12 hours. But due to the walkouts being 24-hour hours each, there is a risk disruption will spill into non-strike days which follow, leading to a week of disruption. A number 10 source said the move was thoroughly irresponsible and warned it would inflict pain and economic disruption on their fellow citizens in really tough times. However, Mick Lynch, Secretary General of the RMT Union, hit back at the government saying they were experts at being selfish and irresponsible. He told the BBC his members needed a pay deal, job security and decent terms and conditions. The government have the key to unlock that, he added. According to the Department for Transport, the average salary rail worker's salary is £44,000. Steve Montgomery, of the Rail Delivery Group, said the industry body was extremely disappointed with the prospect of strike action. "It's really important we ask RMT to get back round the table," he said. He said that the industry had received £16 billion in subsidies over the pandemic, but that level of funding could not continue. "We have to look how we can reform," he said. "We've not said we're not going to give staff a pay increase, but we need to sit down and talk with RMT on how we can move reform forward to make it fair for everybody." Rail firms are looking at all options to modernize, including job losses, he said, as well as trying to operate services during the strikes. The industry group said rail industry revenue is currently at 82% of 2019 levels, which is the same as a £38 million shortfall on pre-COVID revenue levels every week. However, Mr. Lynch said railway firms can easily afford a pay rise for our members, it'll just mean they have to cut back on their profits. "They are ripping off the passenger, they are ripping off the taxpayer. The government needs to fund the railway properly, and we need the companies to give up some of their profits to give our members a pay rise," he added. Despite more people working from home since the pandemic, Mr. Lynch said revenues and passenger numbers were recovering. He said the union doesn't want disruption for thousands of commuters but had been talking to rail firms for 2 years trying to get pay deals. He argued the firms wanted to cut thousands of jobs while still unions have been branded self